Many Bitcoin maxi users will not disclose the major issues with Bitcoin. They won't tell you about this problem. But when you examine and study this market, this issue becomes quite evident. The reality is that Bitcoin does not generate a lot of revenue. Bitcoin will not return as much as it did in 2021, 2017, and 2018. However, Bitcoin will continue to rise. Nothing will change as a result. For this reason, I've always maintained that Bitcoin isn't a suitable option for those who arrive late to a location where they can invest their money and earn income. Early adopters of Bitcoin made a lot of money. Now let's examine a few additional concepts. It's absurd of the news outlets to claim that XRP is currently the greatest coin to purchase with $500. Obviously, USA Today is the source of this. They have 1 million followers. Is this, in my opinion, a good sign? Do I truly believe that I concur with this? Not at all. For those with just $500, I believe there are better offers elsewhere. However, the market is shifting since this type of attention is beginning to appear. It's in motion. However, Bitcoin shouldn't even be mentioned here, in my opinion. If you don't already have a lot of money, I don't think Bitcoin will make you wealthy. It is rather expensive to purchase many of them. You won't get rich from it. In addition, we received a large report from Cointelegraph that stated, so now we have Cointelegraph as well. Cointelegraph has been biased over the years, as you may be aware. They consistently put down old coins, including XRP. Over the years, they have made numerous negative statements regarding XRP. Because XRP is once again too powerful to ignore, people are beginning to perceive things differently. XRP is among the most optimistic ancient coins available at the moment. Everything is still going great. Despite its declining price, XRP is still very valuable. However, many others will continue to watch what? According to those with extensive knowledge of Bitcoin, it will continue to be the most significant initiative. Other organizations are unable to truly appreciate Bitcoin's power. Again, it's evident that Bitcoin has a sizable maxi community supporting it. Many people like it because it's the greatest currency project. Many individuals think that Bitcoin will continue to be the most popular cryptocurrency, but most people also believe that it will continue to rise until it reaches roughly 60% to 70%. Many people think so. In fact, XRP maxes you in terms of things like XRP suffer from the market's constant change. This market will see a number of events that will change the overall picture. However, I will say this, Bitcoin will eventually undergo a transformation. Things will change once Bitcoin reaches the peak. Additionally, I believe Bitcoin will lose its top ranking. The question now is what will happen next? Because again, Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency and is still widely used today. It has held the top spot for a long time due to its enormous market size. And control is also very crucial. But what will happen after the changes begin? In a post dated November 24th, I also predicted that projects like HBR and XRP will surpass Bitcoin in size in the future. When they read it, many people will either chuckle or claim that's not possible. I need your response on a very critical question. If the value of a location is determined by its usefulness, what function does Bitcoin serve? For a long time, people have told us that things are valuable as stores, but what exactly does it mean to own something older? A technology gets pushed out when its revenue declines. This is due to the fact that value is determined by its usefulness. This is what I believe Bitcoin will become in the future, even if some disagree. There will be really significant projects in this field. These are the ones with planned tech use cases and extremely helpful apps already. Even when new regulations are causing things to happen in the US, I still think this should be the primary objective. The trend toward projects that are practical and meaningful in the actual world is already evident. An additional factor that makes Hyde Era, Algorand, Stellar, and other, because it receives so much attention, this type of work continues to be done in the background. They are rapidly expanding and striking significant deals with other companies. They serve a number of well-known clients. They are negotiating with influential individuals. For various initiatives that have been discussed for years, this remains true. Since it's still early, they won't see much use for them just yet. Not much will change that is useful. It will never be that time of year again. Many people discuss these topics. I also constantly wonder when the technology will be put to use. In my opinion, technology is the most crucial factor, particularly in the medium to long term. And it is already evident that the government is taking notice. Why, in your opinion, are fixed coins being used? This is because transferring stable currencies across these DLTs is a relatively rapid method of making payments and adjusting prices. It gives tokenization additional applications in markets and asset kinds that consumers already use on a daily basis. They ought to be improved. They must work more efficiently and intelligently. The best way to do that is to chain them. This is where the improvements made by these projects truly show. What about Bitcoin? What are you aware of? This type of use case is beyond the capabilities of Bitcoin. This type of use case is beyond Ethereum's capabilities. Now let's examine the upcoming initiatives. You see, we look at XRP. We examine HR Royal. Take a look at Algo. Take a look at Stellar. These cryptocurrency initiatives will shape 2023 into what it is today. In addition, we frequently hear these price amounts. This is directly from VayNex's CEO. On this one, there are several viewpoints. The value of each coin is roughly $537.25. The value of Bitcoin would be half that of actual gold. Now consider the market value of XRP. Bitcoin can be compared to digital gold. It will eventually only be worth half as much as genuine gold. Look at it. In my opinion, Bitcoin is comparable to digital gold. At some point, it will only be worth half as much. That's about $400,000. We're growing too old for it, in my opinion. In my perspective, the most intriguing development from last month was the revelation of secure coins. For this reason, I think the Genius Act is the third most significant piece of legislation ever created to protect U.S. banks. Indeed, the first thing that springs to mind when we hear these kinds of discussions is that the folks selling Bitcoin are almost invariably very big banks or asset management companies.